Well, as it's a little bit gloomy out there, but the weather should be warming up soon. And as that weather warms up, we spend more time outside, and protecting ourselves from certain bugs and insects should be top of mind. We're joined by Dr. Nicola Mercer, the CEO and Medical Officer of Health for Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Dr. Mercer, ticks and mosquitoes. Let's start with those flying insects, mosquitoes. What kind of concerns are there in relation to mosquito bites?
Yeah, well, as Canadians, we're all very familiar with mosquitoes, and we know generally that the wetter it is, and the wetter and the warmer it is, the more mosquitoes we get and the more bites we have. But what we've had to deal with in Ontario, at least for the last probably about 15 years, is a disease called West Nile virus. And it is still possible to get this. And what we find is that as mosquito populations increase, usually in July and August, due to the amount of warm weather and the wet weather we have, that's when you really have to take the time to protect yourself from getting mosquito bites. I mean, nobody likes them because they're itchy, but actually you should protect yourself from mosquito bites because you don't want to have West Nile virus, which is kind of a nasty disease and can, and very rarely, but in some people, have some nasty effects.
Is there a way to kind of tell whether I have maybe contracted that?
That's a really good question. I mean, there are blood tests that we can do, but for most people, it feels like a flu-like illness. So if you've ever been out maybe doing some gardening in the middle of the summer and afterwards you're feeling achy, a little bit of a fever, it is possible that you've had West Nile virus, but I'm not going to tell you for sure. That would be something for your physician. Mostly we find it when people show up in hospital because some people get really ill and sometimes they're young too, but they show up in hospital, we do some tests, and that's when we find out that they're suffering from West Nile virus.
Okay, so if you're feeling some of those maybe potential symptoms, contact your doctor?
You could, although not every
Okay.
doctor is going to. By the time you get an appointment and see your doctor, mostly you'll be feeling better. It really is something, if you're immunocompromised, you're elderly, if you just really want to avoid the potential for West Nile virus, take precautions, use DEET or Precautions. Those are two that we know work. You can wear clothing that's impregnated with permethrin. Just take measures to avoid the bite, and then you won't have to worry about getting the disease.
Yeah, lots of great options. Then there's the ticks. What kind of problems do these guys carry?
Well, I think everybody out there now is seeing more ticks. Those ticks are expanding and they're coming into areas of Ontario that we have not seen them before. And I'm sitting right now, I'm in Guelph, and we're starting to see a lot more ticks in our areas. It's expanding northward due to climate change, due to our weather being warmer and our winters milder. Ticks are able to survive. So all across our area now, every place that there's a hiking trail, a place where people might bike or walk, we've put signs up with you'll find that there's a QR code. We're actually reminding people to do tick checks whenever you're outside. Do them on your children, your dog. Believe it or not, you don't even have to go outside. If your dog or your pet gets a tick and brings it into your house, you can find a tick on you, even if you're not the person who's actually been outside. And then when you do find a tick, there's a few things that I would encourage you to do. First of all, don't just grab them, rip them, or pull them off. I know a lot of times people do kind of smack them and, oh, they're full of blood. What was that? But what I'm trying to say is what you really need to do is identify what kind of tick. There are dog ticks, there are black-legged ticks. Dog ticks we're not worried about, but black-legged ticks we really are. So if you want to use the QR code, which you find around our area now, you can do that. It will take you to a site. You can actually go to our website and just put in ticks. You will get taken to a site. Put in the information, give us a picture. That's why it's useful on your phone. Just give us a picture and you will get a response back from a public health inspector and a phone number to call if you have any more questions. And that public health inspector will tell you what it is and will give you some advice on what to do. But my advice to you is wear long pants when you're out hiking in the grass or you're golfing. Use DEET or Precautions on your bare skin. And above all, do a tick check on yourself and your children. So if you find them, remove them and don't leave them on you for very long. Because if they don't stay on too long, then you're not going to get sick.
Well, you beat me to my last question because that's what I was going to ask is the best way to protect yourself from them. So all very good information. Thank you so much, Dr. Mercer. And protect yourself against those mosquitoes and ticks so we can enjoy the summer. Thank you, Dr. Mercer.
My pleasure.